Hi there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbah. Now, the Vice President of the Republic, Professor Naana Jane has paid a working visit to the Ministry of Sports and Recreation as part of their ongoing engagement with key sectors of the government. Now, during the visit, the Vice President commended the ministry and the wider sports industry for their contributions toward advancing sports development in the country. She also reaffirmed her commitment to the sector, assuring the stakeholders of the timely release of funds and logistics to enhance the operational efficiency and overall performance of the sector.
Achievements, Your Excellency. In February 2025, just few days after my inauguration, we had a challenge in our sporting ecosystem, especially football. So in collaboration with Ghana Football Association, we had to suspend the Premier League for some time and to reorganize ourselves to make sure the rules are in place.
Thank you very much, Alex. And again, good morning to all of you for the report that you have given. You're all doing very well. I think you should applaud. And I want to urge that we do even more for the benefits of the people who may not necessarily make the headlines, but who are the odds is to learn to give in, to learn to recognize the strengths of others and to play to them. So by playing to somebody's strength, it doesn't mean that you are weak. It just means that you have a different type of strength. So sports and wellness creates many offshoots. So I want to congratulate you for the work you do and encourage you to do even more. I hear you on your fund.
Truly represents an example, young. When you see this flag with a globe in there, that's what you represent.
Now, President of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Richard Akpokave, says his outfit will need not less than $300,000 to give Ghanaian athletes the best possible preparation for the 2026 Commonwealth Games, which is scheduled to be staged in Glasgow, Scotland, later this year in August. Now, speaking to Joy Sports, Akpokave revealed they will require a strong financial backing to bring the best out of the athletes ahead of the tournament. He's been speaking to my colleague Victor at Tamaklo.
Think about full preparation for the Commonwealth Games specifically.
Yes.
I need not less than $300,000. If I get $300,000 today, I can prepare the athletes properly, well, for the Commonwealth Games. They'll have training camps, they'll have competition, and they'll have medical support and all that.
So what is the size of the contingent you are looking to go to the Commonwealth Games with? About
between 35 and 40, depending upon a few variables. Like some of them may have to do qualifiers, but in terms of, we are sure of about at least 30 of them.
I'm sure you factored the cost of the qualifiers into everything else when you were mentioning the figure.
When I mentioned the figure, the qualifiers were not part of the preparation, training camps, and support. But if you add the qualifiers, you're looking at about $500,000.
Okay.
If you can get me a company that can support me $500,000, I'll be happy to.
You never know.
Oh, no, it's true. But and you see, look, actually, our position is that we want partners. We don't want a sponsor.
Okay.
We want partners. We want somebody who would say that, look, okay, I want to partner you between now and 2028 Olympics. What do you want? What do you want to do? How do you want to get there? And we show him our plan, how we want to get there. Every year, how much do you need? Okay, out of your budget, I can give you 100%, 70%, what it is. So that that partner can see that we started from point A with a plan to get to point Z, and we've gotten there.
Well, we'll bring you that full conversation tomorrow at AM show, and also we'll bring it to you again at the same time on the Journeys channel. But let's turn to attention to the Black Stars now, because the Ghana Football Association, they have confirmed that the team will face Austria in an international friendly as part of preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, Austria will host the match at the Ernst-Happel Stadium in Vienna on Friday, March 27 of this year, and it will be kicking off at about 5 p.m. The fixture comes ahead of Ghana's second match friendly against Germany, which will take place on March 30 of this year. So both Ghana and Austria have already secured qualification for the tournament, which will be staged in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Now, Ghana have been drawn in Group I alongside England, Croatia, and Panama. And Austria, they have also been drawn in Group J with world champions Argentina, Algeria, and Jordan. Now, the two match fixtures forms part of Ghana's final preparations ahead of the World Cup, which will kick off in June later this year. The Black Stars will open their campaign against Panama on June 17 in Toronto, Canada, before facing England in Boston, USA. Then they will play the final game against Croatia on June 27. So Black Stars, two crucial friendlies in March, one against Austria and the other one against Germany. To former Black Stars captain now, Andre Ayew, and former Ghana international Matthew Amwa has shed light on the role he played in the club's decision to sign Andre Ayew, describing his involvement as modest but crucial in assessing the forward's readiness before the move was completed. Now, speaking in an interview, Matthew Amwa explained that although he was not directly involved in negotiations, the club's hierarchy sought his professional opinion as the striker's coach for the club. And based on that report, the club made the move for Andre Ayew to play in with NAC Breda.
Maybe it will be like 10%. Even me, I was surprised when they told me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said, yeah, because it's rumors that, yeah, it's because of me. That's why Andrew was here. Of course, maybe I can say it's because of me, because he watched also my video where I played for NAC and the respect that they have for me. And he also thought, yeah, it's a good club. I played here, so they know some of the Ghanaians. So I did not. They asked me whether it's fit, because I saw also his videos, sometimes training with his dad, and some not old, but yeah, former Ghanaian players that he trained with his dad. So like Wakaso,
Kasim Adams,
yeah. So
a lot of boys.
I said, yeah, he's fit, but maybe it's not game fit, because if I look at him, I cannot see any fat from him. He's 100% fit. So if you ask me which role I played, yeah, not much, but the coaches and Peter Mas, I think they do their work very well.
Yeah, so Andre, you playing straight in the Dutch league now, and of course being trained by former Ghana international Matthew Amwa there. Well, let's turn attention to Germany now, and some exciting action to look forward to in the Bundesliga. And of course, we've got Tom Ginoy with our partner station DWTV for the latest. Tom, good to have you once again. I mean, let's talk about the huge game in Hamburg. Of course, that game will be happening tomorrow night. What should we expect in that derby between Hamburg and St. Pauli?
Here's what to expect first and foremost: fireworks. Hamburg and St. Pauli are two big clubs with huge followings, both laying claim to the crown in their hometown. Now, currently, the Stadtmeister, the city champion, is a title that belongs to St. Pauli after their 2-0 win at Hamburg's Volksparkstadion back in August. Now, since then, turbulent times for St. Pauli. It's been a difficult season for them. They did have a stretch of no fewer than 9 back-to-back defeats in the Bundesliga, though that is something that they have managed to halt. And in more recent times, they've had a run of fairly decent results, actually. And even if the results haven't been exactly as St. Pauli would have liked them to be. You know, they were beaten 3-2 last time out away from home against Dortmund, but they looked very strong in that game. So at least, even if the results haven't been going their way, the performances that Alexander Blessing's brown and white St. Pauli players have been putting in have been impressive. Now, Hamburg, meanwhile, well, obviously that 2-0 defeat at home back in August on just the second match day of this Bundesliga season, which is, of course, their first season back in the top flight after a long, long time down in the second division. Well, they've really managed to sort out their home form. They've had some really big results in front of a home crowd. They drew against Dortmund, they beat Stuttgart, they beat Bremen, who are another of their fiercely contested, much disliked local rivals up in the north of Germany. But as I say, that's all been at home. And on the road, they have struggled indeed. And St. Pauli's Millantor Stadium can really be an intimidating place to play. The fans on the stands will definitely make it a hostile atmosphere for the Hamburg players. Now, it just comes down to whether or not St. Pauli's players can also do their bit and make that a really difficult encounter. So I definitely expect a raucous atmosphere at the Millantor on Friday evening. An atmosphere, I think, which will encompass all of the creativity and colour and noise of German fan culture. And on the pitch, well, frankly, anything is possible. I wouldn't be surprised if Merlin Polzin's players get their revenge for that 2-0 defeat earlier on in the season. I wouldn't be surprised if Alexander Blessing's boys do the double over their hated neighbours, Hamburg. Neither of those, I think, are off the cards, and whatever happens, if there's a victor in that encounter, it will mean so much to the supporters because there is so much pride on the line in the Hamburg derby.
Well, interesting. Let's talk briefly about Bayern Munich because they are also in action against the local neighbours this weekend. Tell us about it because they've been on some really, really good run. They are playing Augsburg this weekend. What kind of game are we expecting?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, first of all, Bayern against Augsburg is not a derby in the same way. Those aren't clubs that pay a great deal of attention to each other, positive or negative. And look, for Bayern, so far, it's been a season of superlatives. You know, they've scored 71 goals so far in the Bundesliga this season, conceding just 14. That gives them a positive goal difference of 57. Now, after just 18 games, they're on 50 points. They're unbeaten in the Bundesliga table. I mean, you know, with stats like that, that almost goes without saying that they haven't lost a match in Bundesliga competition so far this season. But they're the only team in Europe's top 5 leagues not to have been beaten in their domestic competition. They're still on course in all 3 competitions, important competitions that they're participating in this season. So that's the Champions League, obviously the Bundesliga, and also the German Cup. And in their next game in the German Cup, that will be the quarter-final in early February. They face RB Leipzig, a team that they just thrashed 5-1 in the Bundesliga and thrashed 6-0 in the Bundesliga earlier on in the season. I mean, you know, I'm reading out those numbers. Those sound like tennis scores, but these are football scores. Bayern are just in such control of the Bundesliga at the moment. They've just been strengthened as well, of course, by the return of Jamal Musiala. They've not had any shortage of stars in the meantime. Incredible young talents like Lennart Karl playing a great role this season. Plenty of seasoned veterans doing well as well. Leon Goretzka, Manuel Neuer, Joshua Kimmich. So on top of that, Vincent Kompany is also proving to be a really great coach. He's got his performers performing at their very best all of the time, and that's something that other coaches have often commented on, you know, that Bayern are really performing at their limits in every match. The rest of the league, I think, are quaking in their boots. And if we talk about Augsburg, well, to put it frankly, they're not a team that look like a team that could stop Bayern in their tracks. They come into this game in 15th place in the Bundesliga table. And I have to say, I'm not a betting man, but if I was a betting man, I don't think I'd be putting my money on Augsburg to come out of that one with a positive result.
Well, Tom, let's see how the betting people will work out on this one. But thank you very much for making time with us here on Joe News in Accra. Well, quick one though, the World Cup is getting close. And if you want to be at the World Cup, the trusted travel and tour company is Litina Travels and Tour. And of course, they are inviting you to take advantage of their 3-in-1 package experience, which will see you guarantee your flight ticket, your sports ticket, and also get the opportunity to watch the Black Stars game in all of the countries that they will be playing it. So just call them 0244-260-789 or visit them at Alisa Hotel, Northridge, and secure your spot on this once-in-a-lifetime journey. That's all we have for you, but we have more for you on why you need to join the Joy Big Workout with Nathaniel Atto.
2026 has started off on a very good note. I don't know about you, and I don't know what your plan is for the year. But everybody has to start on a very good note, especially when it comes to your health. So that's the reason why you have to get yourself ready for the upcoming Joy Big Workout at the University of Ghana on the 31st of January, exactly at 6 a.m. And it sure is going to be a lot of brisk walking, a lot of aerobics, and shaking off all of those pounds to get yourself active for the rest of the year. Well, so this is a very big invitation to all of our friends in corporate Ghana, in the Kipfit clubs, and all those who are just from young to old. This is for you. Would like to see all of you there.